Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. All right. Before I get started, as always, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to our powers. Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim, Racha HaKodash, and give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that have taught us this truth that it comes ruling well through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Hey, peace, mercy, and blessed to the beloved Akim that are out there pushing this word wholeheartedly in truth and in sincerity, that are not wavering to the left nor to the right, but constantly staying on that straight and narrow, fighting for your crowns in these last days that we are truly living in. Even shalom to the few sisters, the Aquabs that are out there, and even shalom to the Israelite foreigners, those who may look like the other nations, but their seed line going back into our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's another edition of the Friday Night Live, which Lord willing lets us do be edifying to the Lord's elect. All right, which I entitled, "She that is my enemy shall see it." All right, which we talking about the so-called black woman, all right, starting with her all the way down to the rest of the tribes. Okay, all right, now Eve is starting to feel it, all right, because Eve that bought into the dream, all right, of Babylon the Great, all right, she bought into feminism, all right, she thought that the walls will never come caving in, you know, the roof will never come crashing down, all right, and now the party's over. You know what I'm saying? The party's over. All right, the so-called black woman, all right, she's now a castaway. She's a throwaway, all right, and my man Donald Trump, DJ Trump, all right, he said what? DEI is dead. That's out of his words. Matter of fact, let me play that so you can hear it. Let's see what Trump got to say. Hold on, let me play this.
DEI content. Can you confirm whether that's accurate if there is?
I don't know. It doesn't sound like a bad idea to me. DEI would have ruined our country, and now it's dead. I think DEI is dead, so if they want to scrub the websites, that's okay with me.
We shut down this evening.
My man Trump said DEI is dead, all right? Diverse, equity, inclusions, all right? And you got a lot of women that is getting cut from their job over what? 106,000 so-called black women just got cut as being federal workers, all right? And more jobs is going to keep getting cut, you know? All right, that show you the type of times that we are in. Now you got women getting up online crying, you know? They paying the pity card, hoping that, you know what I'm saying, somebody put the cape on and come to their rescue. Ain't nobody going to come to your rescue, all right? A lot of these men nowadays are fed up of you lame-ass women, you know? All right? A lot of you women, all right, got a lot to pay for. Just like even Pastor R goes into, he says, you know, a lot of women are going to be destroyed here in Babylon the Great, all right? And it's because of your treacherous ass ways, all right? You're wicked as hell, man, you know? All right, and now everything is starting to catch up to you. All that wickedness that you have done, all that buying into what the devil has sold you, now it's coming to a clear end, you know? But let's jump into this next video real fast. All right, matter of fact, I'm gonna start with the book as I quoted from Micah. All right, let's go there. Okay, Micah chapter 7 verse 10. It says, "Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her." All right, what is she gonna see? You know, she gonna see that her only hope was the so-called black man. All right, she gonna find out that really we were supposed to be lords over her. All right, and she was supposed to what? Stand by our sides, be a woman, and bow down herself to us, just as us as men, are supposed to bow down ourselves unto Yahweh Shai, all right, and Yahweh, man, okay. But what did the so-called black woman do? What did Eve do? You know, she trusted in oppression, all right. She took all the goodies, and she thought that she was going to forever be on top. You know what I'm saying? Who runs the world? Girls. Who runs the world? Girls. Now you getting ready to find out girls don't run shit. Just that fast, a man said it's dead, it's over, you know? All right, and now unemployment rates is going up. Unemployment rates is going up because now you need a job. Now you about to get evicted. You know what I'm saying? You out there homeless, all right? You washing your ass in Starbucks sink in the bathroom, you know? All right, all because what? You wanted independence. You didn't want to be so-called in slavery because a man gives you rules and he's trying to be a man and govern over you. No, you wanted to be the man. You wanted to, matter of fact, you wanted to surpass the man, all right? Which I'm going to grab that, Lord willing, because that's nothing more than a new thing in the earth where women were able to surpass men, you know? All right? And now look. Now you getting ready to start tucking your tail, putting on your makeup, putting on your best outfit, and you're going to start running to men, hoping that men take your ass in. All right? And a lot of men are going to give you that Leonidas ass foot. That's what they going to give you. They going to get your ass away from me. I ain't dealing with your trifling ass. Hey, shalom to the brother Isaiah. Shalom, brother. Shalom, Maki. Shalom, brother. Let me see what you got, brother. Jeremiah 31:22, it says, how long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord have created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. You see that? You know? All right, and that's how these women look at you. Look at you like they shit don't stink, puffed up, proud, you know? Shit, a man, he gotta be emotionally stable. He gotta have a degree. He gotta have his life together if I'm gonna deal with him. They create criteria around themselves that only benefit them, you know? All right, and now look, when the shoe is on the other foot or it's the other way around, all right, now they low, and they'll see now see a lot of women gonna have a problem with men having criteria against their motherfucking ass. You know what I'm saying? All right, they gonna start having yeah, that's right, but they belong to Satan. They gonna try to, and the men ain't going for that shit. Nah, hell no, because a lot of men remember what a lot of these women have done. You know what I'm saying? That they gotta pay for. You know. All right, let me go back to that Micah 7 real fast. Shalom to all you brothers on the comment board. All right, may Yahweh Shema Shai bless you. All right, and keep you from these demons. Okay. All right, so Micah 7:10 again. I'm gonna start it from the top. It says, then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which saith unto me, where is the Lord thy power? All right, where is God at? You know, these women sound like Job's wife, man. You know, Job cursed the Most High and died, nigga. You know, she probably talking crazy to Job. You know, these women nowadays, that's how they talk to you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't all manly and shit, masculine, okay? You know? And there's brothers that had women in the truth that committed adultery, that then stepped off left. A lot of them women is getting ready to perish. You know what I'm saying? All right, they getting ready to get judged and destroyed. You know? All right, because guess what? Yahweh Shai is coming back. All right? And Yahweh Shema Shai is the reason why this place is falling. Babylon the Great, man. All right? See, at least a little bit in the time of the 1930s, you know what I'm saying? Maybe up to the early 40s, maybe mid 40s to the 50s. You had women that understood that, you know what I'm saying, we was being oppressed, so they fought together alongside of us. But once Satan came through with all them goodies, the government benefits and all that, man, kicked the man out the house, Section 8, you know what I'm saying? Food stamps and all that. All right, the woman says, shit, I could be independent all by myself. I don't need this nigga no more. All right, and they've been living years like this. So now all that shit is getting cut now. All right, all that is getting cut. Okay, it said, let me keep reading. Right, it says, my eyes shall behold her Now she shall be trodden down as the mire of the street. All right, a lot of you women getting ready to get trodden down as the mire of the street. All right. Matter of fact, I got another video for y'all out here, man. Let me play this one. All right, from the I want to say this is from the brother in Chicago. Okay, GMS Austere. All right, if you ain't subscribed, subscribe to that brother, man. He puts up edifying lessons. All right, but let's check this video out right here.
Not all of them. A lot of sisters are losing their jobs.
Some of the government jobs that he was trying to shut down.
Yeah, a lot of jobs.
Sure, UPS is fired 70,000.
I thought it was 22,000 the last time. Remember I covered it?
Yeah, I think the goal is 70. But I think the goal is.
Okay. Damn.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, my sisters, the roosters are coming home. My sisters, everything you did is finna come back on you because they have people in place government-wise to show you we used you to destroy the village. Now we really have no use for you no more. Your daddy ain't there.
Mm-hmm.
Your husband ain't there. Your son is raised wrong. Your daughter is watching you twerk. You have done what we wanted you to do well in destroying the village. The father of your child is probably in court with you over nothing.
Facts.
We have used you to the same way, like back in the day, Eve ate from the forbidden tree.
Right.
This is the same thing. You ate from the forbidden tree. You went and used a system that destroys you to destroy your family.
Yep. I'm gonna play some more. But Corey Hookham, you know, he made a good point. All right, she ate from the forbidden fruit, you know, which really goes into left hand knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So she thought that was gonna bring her glory. All right, and now your so-called glory is now being turned into shame because you could tell a nation is destroyed by their woman. All right. And that tells you that Israel is fucked up. All right, look at our woman, man. You know what I'm saying? Our young men are effeminate. Okay, they're growing up with no daddies in the home. You know what I'm saying? Because the damn woman, she got tired of that nigga. You know what I'm saying? All right, or she laid down with the wrong nigga because of bad choices that she don't want to be accountable for. You know? All right, and situations happen. She sent that nigga off to prison. So now this nigga ain't got no daddy no more. Now this nigga done turned into a YN of the street, you know? Alright, she didn't have to fend for herself. Now she probably selling a box. You know, she working at Starbucks making ends meet, you know? She gotta get with all these different men to sustain and take care of herself, at the same time relying on the government, acting as if she's a bad woman living her best life. Alright? Yeah, that you fucked up, man. You know? Alright, y'all became trifling, man, and you don't have no daddy. Your daddy's not around. A lot of these young women are growing up without their fathers in their life. Alright, which is very detriment to a nation's society, is not having your dad around. Alright? But let me get this right fast. I'm gonna grab that precept too, brother. That's a good precept right there. Duada for that. Genesis 3 and 1, it says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord Yahweh had made. All right, now this ain't no snake that just slithered his ass on up a tree and just hung low and happened to see Eve just walking by and just hissed his little tongue out, Eve. He got the right moment to whisper in her ear, Eve, you want to know something? You want to know something? No, this is a man, all right, that got Eve's attention, all right, with snake ways, okay, all right, because you know a lot of Christians, man, when they try to touch on these parabolical deep, profound books like Genesis, all right, a lot of Genesis, there's a lot of parables in here, all right. There's a lot of deep mysteries in the book of Genesis that are not straightforward, all right. Just like the book of Genesis, the first chapter, you know, all right, the Elohims, which they think is God, all right, but it's the Yahweh Shai and the angels, all right. Then you got Adam, right, and Eve, which they believe it was just only two people on the earth. Okay, no, it was Adam had a father, Adam had a mother. All right, that's how men and women are born into the earth, through the act of sex. But Adam came out of a lineage called the Adamites at that time, and them just being in a garden represented just a lot of the other nations, okay, other individuals, other people, all right, which the other nations are also represented and known as beast, okay. Yep, Genesis and Hebrew are too deep for Christians, bro, way too deep. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't swim, your ass is bound to drown. You know what I'm saying? And Christians is drowning. You know, that's why they gotta leave it up to the prophets. All right. But I'm gonna add some precepts as I read through this. So I'm gonna break it down section by section. All right, line by line. All right, here a little, there a little. Right. It says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord power had made. All right. Now the precept that I want to grab concerning the beast of the field, I want to say it's in the book of Ecclesiastes. All right, let me see. Ecclesiastes, forgive me, it's been a let me see, I want to say, yep, Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 18. All right, it's Ecclesiastes 3 and 18. It says, I said in my heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that Yahweh might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts. Okay, so the serpent, all right, which became later on a dragon, all right, which a dragon represents his cruel-like ways. Okay, the serpent is always devising mischief. Okay, so he plotted against Eve. All right, so the other nations in the garden were known as beasts. Okay, let's go back and read some more. Right, let's go back and read some more. All right, so back in Genesis 3 and 1, it says, and he said unto the woman, yeah, have the Most High said, ye shall not eat of the tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. Right, because there's certain knowledge that we were supposed to take in, okay, practice, right, which we were supposed to listen to the prophets, because you had prophets back then, all right, in the garden that was saying, hey, don't follow after these ways. Okay, all right, just like Jeremiah said what? And when you read in the 10th chapter and the second verse, it says, learn not the ways of the heathens. All right, so we knew what was only good, what was right for us, so to speak. Okay, but then here come the serpent teaching Eve another way. That's why the scriptures say what? Through her we all die. You know, through her we all die. You know what I'm saying? Because she was really the first transgressor from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let me get this real fast, all right? Because it tells you in the book of Mike. No. Let me see the trees. The trees. Man, it's lucky I can't. It's been a while since I went over this. I want to say it's Mark. Oh, okay, yep, Mark. Here it is. Just a couple precepts, Aki. Nothing too deep. You know, I'm sure brothers know these precepts already. You know, but just a repetition. We just bring them back out. You know, Lord willing, this is edifying. Mark chapter 8, verse. I'm gonna start at verse 22. All right, it says, and he came to Bethsaida, and they bring a blind man unto him and besought him to touch him. And he took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the town. And when he had spit on his eyes and put his hands upon him, he asked him if he saw aught. Right now, you know, this is Yahushua healing the man, right? It says, and he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking. All right. So when the man gained his eyesight, he said, I looked up and see men as trees walking. Okay. All right. So men can also be referred to as trees. Okay. In the scriptures. All right. Just like I forget, it might be in the book of Judges, but it talk about how the trees were going to select a new king, you know. All right, these are certain precepts that you can actually tie into Genesis. All right, going into the breakdown of what was really going on in the garden, that these were people. Okay, so it says, verse 24 again, and he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking. After that, he put his hands up again upon his eyes and made him look up, and he was restored and saw every man clearly. All right, so that's just another precept, Akim. All right, so let's go back to Genesis, the 3rd chapter, because that, you know, that's a heavy breakdown. All right, but just something brief. It says, verse 2, and the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yahweh have said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. All right. That's what was that. See, and Eve knew better. She knew better. You know what I'm saying? That was out of her own mouth. If I eat of that fruit, I'm going to die. All right. But look what the serpent said, because he beguiled her. All right. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. You know, he came what with the smooth talk. You know what I'm saying? Just like we go into the precept in Psalms. It tell you what. His words were smoother than butter, but what? War was in his heart. Okay, you know. When you want to entice a woman, all you got to do is just in shortness of words, you got a mind popper. You know what I'm saying? You know, to make her let her guard down. You know what I'm saying? All right, so that way she feel a certain type of way to where she with it. You know, she willing to indulge in whatever you getting ready to show her. All right, so that's how the devil had her. You know, and Eve is still like that till this day. You know, and now she find out the hard way, and now she want to go cry about it. I don't know what to do. I got kids. All right, well, you and them kids getting ready to find your ass in some hellish times. Probably getting ready to get destroyed, thrown into a concentration camp, man. Okay, or out here getting raped by a bunch of horny ass men that have been used and abused by a lot of you women that are out there just doing whatever the hell you doing, man, in these streets, man. You know? All right? Yeah, it's getting ready to get real nasty work out here real soon. But that, hey, this is what you brought upon yourself, you know? But let me play some more of that. It's some more of the brother's video.
To destroy your family. And now, with this administration in, they have no use for you. Remember all the female black mayors and everything that was happening and all like that?
Yeah.
They ain't got no use for that shit no more. I see the girl. We are the most educated. Yes, they sold you a degree that ain't finna be worth. Yeah.
Woo, man.
You who have aged out and fell for the sucker shit in destroying your village, your family, and yourselves, the only thing you can do is try to tell your children, don't do what I did. All you women 40, 50, 60, it's over for you. You need to explain to your children, don't do what I did. Don't go around here talking about you don't need a man publicly. Don't go around bashing men for the most part publicly. Because all these women who are on the internet for bashing men. There's a record of it, and I think we need to keep a record of these women in case they try to act like they're something different later on. But most of them will follow who's ever the leadership. Whether the leadership is good or bad, they'll follow the leadership. While we're in this position we're in, I'm talking about the moral people of the world. You have to be aware of these women that's out for self.
Yep.
Not for the village. Because they are about to find themselves back in the village with the villagers, and the fronting like you rich, the fronting like all this is finna be over. I'm telling you, most of my sisters are broke in a motherfucker.
Yep. Yeah. Hey, and I'm talking about pretty as hell. Pretty as hell. You wouldn't even think that, you know, her ass so pretty. You know what I mean? That her ass is a fucking bum. You know what I'm gonna say? It just like that. Her ass live right at home on her mama couch, and she nasty. You know what I'm saying? She got top ramen, old ass cups where she sleep at. She just when she there, she nasty. But when she out in public, she just look like ain't nothing wrong with her. That's how these women is living nowadays. You know what I'm saying? And they calling themselves baddies. Alright, they going out with the girls drinking and shit, you know, margaritas and fucking bottomless mimosas. Alright, but that's real though. Alright, but like my man said, they getting ready to find themselves back in the village asking for a sense of relief. Help. You know? Take me in. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of men ain't gonna go for that shit. Only them fucking suckers, you know? Them dudes that is simps. You know, oh baby, it's all good. You know what I mean? I got you, man. Don't even worry about it. Alright? And the only reason why she acting like that because she know what? That she's down bad. You know? But let me get what this brother got, alright? Thwada, brother. Hey, much love to you, brother, for popping up these precepts, you know, because they do help, okay? With the edification. Alright, Isaiah, Idaho, 1 Timothy 2:14. Alright, and any other brother on there, you know, throw up precepts, alright? I'm gonna read them. Okay, it says, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in transgression. All right, what I read in Genesis, the 3rd chapter. Okay, 1 Timothy 2:15, it says, notwithstanding she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in the faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. Now that only go for the sisters. You know, that don't go for every woman that get pregnant by a brother in the truth. You know what I'm saying? All right, there's women in the truth that are going to be saved because why? They're remaining in faith and charity and having sobriety. All right, being quiet, being helps. Okay, and there's women that have brothers in the truth that left them, put them on child support. You know what I'm saying? Took their children away. You know, did all sorts of evil, made their life a living hell. Okay, them type of women are going to be destroyed by Yahweh Shema Shai, man. You know what I'm saying? Alright, they didn't remain. They didn't have faith. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, they disrespected you and Yahweh Shai. Your faith. See, a woman that don't care about a man of faith and what he believe in, that's a woman that she ain't worthy of you. You know what I'm saying? Any woman that don't respect what you stand for, what you believe in, she's not a woman worthy of you. You know? And that's how we moving. Alright? If you ain't down with this program, fuck you. To hell with your monkey ass. Alright? You know? And you gotta stand on that. Alright? See, it's our time to win. You know? Like the scriptures say, matter of fact, let me grab that real fast. Alright, let me grab that real fast, alright? Because these women gonna find out that what? Men were the prize. Alright? Men were the prize. Straight up. Let's get it real fast. Isaiah 14 and Isaiah 14 and or is it 13? It might be 13. Salaki. Isaiah 13 and 12. It says, and I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. All right, now that's talking about the elect men that's, you know, daily putting their life on the line for Yahweh Shem Abishai, constantly going into these scriptures, all right, teaching them the correct way, all right, edifying the believers that are out there, all right, serving Yahweh Shem Abishai in one mind and one consent. You know what I'm saying? All right, that's sincere and serious about the Lord. All right, those men are going to be seen as gold in the time of Jacob's trouble when all hell is breaking loose out here. You know what I'm saying? All right, and don't be surprised, brother, before even all hell break loose out here in these streets, as things progress on, don't be surprised when you start seeing more women just popping up, standing by the camps. You know what I'm saying? Or just somewhere on the side of a building with that one eye peeping over just like a weirdo, goddamn creep and shit. You know what I'm saying? All right, they gonna become searching. They gonna become seeking. You know? All right, and a lot of them women is gonna get turned their ass away. You know what I'm saying? Because we know why you here. We know what you looking for. You looking for a refuge. You know? All right, but the you know, not all of them, but majority of them, you ain't gonna get that refuge. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna get that refuge at all. All right, but let's get this real fast. Isaiah 32 and 2. It says, a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind. All right, what does the wind represent? The wind represents the destruction. All right, the hell, the chaos. Okay, guidance. Matter of fact, you need guidance. Women are not meant to be natural leaders. You know, that's why impulsive decisions, regrets, instability, okay, you know, happens to a lot of women where they need therapy and shit. You know what I'm saying? All right, because of them putting themselves into a leadership role to the point where they were never fit for a leadership role, because women by nature are natural followers. You know, that's why you got a group of men that are running from the Babylonian woman, the Americanized woman, and they're going overseas to the Dominican Republic. They're going to the Philippines. They're going to the different islands, okay? And they're messing with the women in the other countries because they're more dainty, they're more submissive. All right, they're women that know how to treat a man. They don't have that resting bitch face. Like, I get tired of seeing that shit. You know, here it is, you going into a food supply and you getting some food, and then this bitch she ice grilling the shit out you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you done did some shit to her, you know? Or she a security guard at a job, and you trying to get through the little booth, you know, and the bitch is mean mugging you and shit, you know? Or she, as soon as you say, hey, how you doing, she got a rough ass response towards you. God damn, bitch, I just asked you how your day was. You know what I'm saying? All right, that shit comes with the woman here in Babylon, man. You know, that's how they act here. All right, which I don't see why. I don't see why a lot of you women are proud like that. Because a lot of you're fat as hell. You got that pouch that hang over your stomach, that you tuck inside your pants. You know, you got a Peter Griffin ass chin. A lot of you women got a Peter Griffin chin. You got a double chin, man. Eating all this processed and GMO and goddamn crawdads and shrimp and lobster and all that crazy shit that y'all be eating, man. That's got you looking jacked up, you know, cursed. You know, a lot of you women are out here cursed. Your thighs is rotting out. You know what I'm saying? All right. And you know what's funny? You know what's funny? Because I was watching this video on TikTok, you know, and this was an actual sister, you know, and she was, you know, I'm not saying a sister that's in the truth, but she was a sister that was actually kicking something that you could take from her. You know what I'm saying? This was a sister that was actually saying some true words. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play her right now, you know, because this is how you women should be thinking. Let me play this.
who is broke and never been to college, but is fine as hell, can cook, has good nurturing skills, good in bed, will always get the better man than the woman who makes hella bread, is hella accomplished, but she is totally out of touch with her womanly side and role. It's women right now making tons of money, A+ credit, business rolling, while you're gone at work all day. Your man is cheating with a woman who's unemployed and makes him feel like a man. When a woman says, they don't want me independent because I don't gotta take his ish. Basically, what she's saying is that if I have my own everything, I can talk to you any kind of way. It means I can have other men. I got my own money, got my own car. That right there should disqualify a woman from being the wifey, the face card. We as women should all be functioning as adults. Money, credit, transportation, housing, that's called being a grown adult. A woman who is broke and never been...
Yep, there you have it. You know what I'm saying? All right, like that's what you get with a lot of women overseas. Submissive, you know, even though a lot of them are looking for a way out, you know, but for the most part, their parents are what? Raising them up from actual birth. You know what I'm saying? How to what? Take care of a man. Here in Babylon, you don't get that with a lot of women in Babylon. You know what I'm saying? They don't show you because, see, your mother failed you here. A lot of you women, your mother failed you, all right? Your grandmother failed you, okay? All right, because they have passed down feminism, pride. You know what I'm saying? And the daughter, she didn't got raised up thinking that she could just live a life on the system, live a life without no man, be independent, keep her options open, you know, explore the world, have sex with whoever you want to have sex with, and there was going to just be no repercussions, you know? All right, and a lot of these women have this masculine energy about them where men don't want to deal with their motherfucking asses, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of men don't want to deal with you women shit, man. All right, and you become proud, and now look, now your degrees ain't worth shit. You know what I'm saying? All right, now you getting kicked down to the bottom with the man that you didn't kick to the bottom, to the curve. You didn't kick this nigga to the curve. Nah, nigga, you wasn't shit. You ain't on my level. You ain't riding in the car that I'm riding. I got a Mercedes. You know what I'm saying? I got a degree, nigga. You still work at Starbucks, you know? All right? Now look at you. Now you open a man take you under his wings, and men are not. All right? Men gonna leave your ass to the side. All right? Because you just dead weight. Matter of fact, let me go back. All right, let me go back to Isaiah 32:2 again. It says, let me read that in the NLT, matter of fact. It says, each one will be like a shelter from the wind and a refuge from the storm, like streams of water in the desert and the shadow of a great rock in the parched land. All right, so the men of the Lord, all right, are going to be that hiding place, all right, from those type of hellish conditions that you gonna desperately want to get out of, all right? Because there's gonna be a lot of women that is gonna be out here fending for themselves, and women are not built. They're not built to go into survival mode like men can, you know. All right, women are just not built like that. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna be an easy prey out here, and the scriptures speak about that. The scriptures speak about how women are gonna be a prey out here in these streets. Okay, let me grab that real fast as well. I'm in the same book, but let me go to a different chapter. All right, let me go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, and let me start at verse let me start at verse 15. It says, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. It says their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. All right, so you got a lot of women out here with shit 3, 5, 7 baby daddies, man, because women didn't figured out how to calculate how much money they would get for being on the welfare. You know, how much food stamps they would get. You know what I'm saying? How much cash aid they'll get. They didn't calculate that shit. This bitch just became a mastermind in wickedness. Alright? and finessing the system. You know? Alright, so they just having all type of babies. Alright, by any Jake that's stupid enough to go and lay down with their ass and deal with their shit. You know, Jake want to get their rocks off, so they just pumping them with no protection, get them pregnant, and they put your ass right on child support, and they just go collect another check. You know what I'm saying? Alright, but they figured that shit out. Now you and them babies is getting ready to be trodden. You know? It says their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished. All right, so let's say you do got a spot. Well, and that time, men are gonna come up in your shit. You know, and women don't know how to protect them. All right, women don't know how to protect themselves. They scare easily. They frighten easily. You know, it's a spider. You know, oh, something touched my hair. You know what I'm saying? Women scare easily. Oh, I heard something. Can you go check it out for me? It ain't nothing there. It's your imagination. You know? Alright? But these gonna be real life scenarios, real life events where women gonna be out there, don't know what the hell to do. Alright? And men are just gonna have their way with you. Alright? They gonna ravish you. You know what the word ravish means? It means to be graped. Alright? It means to be graped. Alright? A capital R to the A to the G. Capital, you know what I'm saying? R to the A, to the, I said G, but it's P, to the E, you know? Alright, that's what's gonna happen. And you ain't gonna be able to do nothing about it. That's part of judgment, right? It says, let me keep reading, right? It says, and their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished. Alright, so a lot of women gonna be out here getting spoiled like that. They gonna become what? The booty, you know? You like showing your ass, you like having your titties out. You know what I'm saying? You can't take no order. You like being wonton in the streets. Well, this was gonna be the kind of judgment that the Lord's getting ready to send. You got a lot of thirsty individuals out in this world. You got a lot of individuals that are just bugged out of their mind, just walking these streets full of testosterone, that's just waiting for a day where they ain't gonna get arrested and taken to the police station. You know, all right, it's a lot of individuals out here like that, you know, all right, it's a lot of people that are constantly plotting and planning for end time scenarios, and they got certain people on their hit list. All right, and I can only imagine it's gonna be a lot of you women that are on people's hit list. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, a lot of you women, hey, you better repent. The scriptures say, rise up, you women. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go back to Isaiah 32. Let me jump down to verse to 9. All right, so it says, Isaiah 32:9, rise up, ye women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. All right, so you're supposed to be hearing these words, listening to them, and implying. It don't matter how hard the message coming out, how much you don't like it. A brother should tone his volume down a little bit. Don't say these cuss words. Man, you better shut the hell up, and get your ass in order. All right? Bottom line is, and that's the type of times we coming to. Whatever we say, your ass just gonna fucking do it. You know? Cause there ain't gonna be no time to waste on Keisha, you know what I'm saying? Your ass talking back. I don't like the way you talking to me. That shit ain't gonna fly in that day, you know? That attitude is not gonna fly in them type of times that we in, man. All right, your ass is gonna have to get your ass in order, or stay outside and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? All right, and while your ass is outside, you ain't gonna make it. You know, that's just the bottom line of it. You ain't gonna make it. All right, let me keep going. Let's go to verse 10. It says, many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. All right, and right now we seeing it. All right, the vintage is failing. I'm sorry, the jobs are out of here. The jobs are going away. You losing your job. You know what I'm saying? All right, now your ass is a scrub. Remember them songs? I don't want no nigga sitting in the passenger seat hollering at me. You know? All the different songs that they came out with. All that shit getting ready to bite them in the ass real soon. Alright, matter of fact, let me get this one too. Let's check this one out from the brother Arrows of Indignation. Listen up, Eve. All right, this is a message for you. You know, the spirit, like the spirit of the Lord. The spirit of the Lord is on you, women. All right, it's the spirit of the Lord.
Same thing to us that they did to black men 40 years ago, which is pushing us out of the workforce. That's what they did to black men, and that is what caused the major divide within our community with regards to the gender wars. We saw black men the way they wanted us to see them because they didn't have the upward mobility that we had because of our jobs that we were able to get in the federal government. For one, the federal government was one of the biggest job employers for black women, and they're pushing us out left and right. We lost more jobs last month than any other demographic, and those jobs are not coming back. And if they come back, they're not going to give them to us. I don't care what degree you got. Because you can see right now, they don't care nothing about those degrees. As soon as we started getting it, they ain't mean anything anymore. I say this to say, we going to have to work with black men. Whatever grief you got with black men, get over it. It's time for us to work together. We need them and they need us, and this is just more proof of that.
But the facts and the statistics are starting to expose the brutal truth. These women made a serious miscalculation when they burned their bridges with the nuclear family and turned their backs on the black man.
Whoa. It just came to me. But these are the same women that talk about how come men don't approach us. How come men don't talk to us? How come men don't take us out on dates? How come men don't do this? Well, look at what the fuck you're saying. Look at how you're moving. Look at your behavior, and you wonder why.
Look around, brothers. The government is shrinking, and many of the jobs that used to dangle in front of your faces like trophies are quietly being replaced by AI. The future is circling back to what men have always brought to the table: mind and muscle.
Black women don't listen to no fucking body. They don't respect anybody, and they're very unaccountable, you know, and they're producing these children that they don't even want to date and that they know is problematic, but instead of holding themselves accountable and saying that they maybe didn't produce the best child, they rather blame the father for not being there when they wouldn't allow them to be there because they want to be married to the system and they want to get the benefits from being in the system. It is quite disgusting to me, and black women are never going to be beneficial to the community as long as they keep these attitudes. You're not going to help the community, and the best thing that black women can do for the community is work with black men, is respect black men, is hold yourselves accountable, and, you know, be there for your children. Be parents to your children instead of being in a club, instead of trying to extort men for money or whatever it is that you guys do. And maybe instead of attacking people because they say hard truths, maybe you should look inward and attack yourself and attack your demons instead of just deflecting and projecting all of this negative energy on everybody else. Okay? The behavior that's coming from black women is disgusting, and you guys are not the most educated.
Yeah, heard. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, brothers. Alright, a lot of these women is getting ready to lose, man. They getting ready to be trodden down, man. They getting ready to go down, and a lot of them, you know what I'm saying, they don't have no skills. Alright? They could barely talk. They can't cook. They don't even know how to, you know, even get it right with you in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them is useless. You know? And that's because what? Shit, social media, the idea that the serpent sold them, you know? You can't tell them shit, you can't show them nothing. They too strong-minded. All right? So it's like certain animals. When you got a dog that, you know, you can't teach it nothing. It's aggressive all the time, and you try to feed it something, it's already biting your hand and shit. You got to put the dog down, you know? You got a horse that can't be tamed. It's constantly bucking up against you. There's nothing you could do with that horse but put it down. You know, that's what the Lord getting ready to do to a lot of these women. You're getting ready just to put their ass down. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women is going to be trotted underfoot here, you know? That's what's getting ready to happen. All right, they're not even women. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these females, like the elder call them, all right, they're failures, man. You know. All right, so I'm gonna read that again in Isaiah. I'm gonna grab a couple more precepts. I'm gonna just close it out, Akim, because I'm already at the hour mark. You know, so let's go. Right here, Isaiah 32:10. It says, "Many days and years shall you be troubled, ye careless woman, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come." All right, so you see that the jobs is being lost, they getting replaced by AI. Hey, Donald Trump, hey, he done balled your ass up like a ball, and he done Steph Curry'd you right into the trash can, just like he did when he went over to Puerto Rico and he got the what was that, the the bounty wipes, you know, and he started swishing the bounties at the tribe of Ephraim. You know what I'm saying? All right, so that's Donald Trump's statement to the so-called black woman. All right, matter of fact, Esau, period. All right, because Donald Trump is just following orders. They don't need you. They used you. You destroyed your community. You look down on your own people. All right, and now your ass gonna come back with your tail between your legs, hoping, please, I'm sorry. You know, but sorry ain't enough. Sorry don't take back all that trauma over the years. It's a lot of men out here that got trauma from over your woman. You know, Isaiah 32:11, it says, "Tremble ye women that are at ease, but be troubled, ye careless ones, strip you, and make you bare and gird sackcloth upon your loins." All right, because really you're supposed to mourn. You know, you're supposed to really be sorry for what you're doing. And if you're really sorry, all right, you would turn to Yahweh Shema Shai and ask for forgiveness. You know, all right, and then you will really submit yourself. You will really repent and submit yourself to a man of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? You will do everything in your power to please that man. You know, you're gonna do everything in your power. But through the pride of a lot of you women, most of you women ain't gonna do that. All right. So hey, right now what we seeing is just like we've been saying through the Holy Spirit, that the mirth of the land is gone. All right. See, Eve thought she had the last laugh. Eve thought that she was just gonna constantly keep making money. You know what I'm saying? She was just gonna be this big entrepreneur. It's her year. You know what I'm saying? She thought she was always gonna stay outside, turn up, twerk, put the suit on, go back to the office on Monday, drink mimosas with the girl the next week. You know what I'm saying? Sit on a yacht, be a hoe when she decided to. Look, all right, you've been bamboozled, you've been hoodwinked. All right, you've been ultimately played, you've been lied to. All right, so let's go to Isaiah 24. Isaiah 24, and is it Isaiah 20? Oh no, I'm sorry, Isaiah 19. I'm sorry, Isaiah chapter. Tripping. Isaiah 19 and 15, it says, there is nothing in the NLT. Isaiah 19 and 15 in the NLT, it says, there is nothing Egypt can do. All are helpless. The head and the tail, the noble palm branch and the lowly reed. All right. So right now people are helpless. All right. Living in their cars, trying to figure it out, trying to make their next move, their best move. All right, and we witnessing the downfall of Babylon the Great. All right, so we in some beautiful times. You know what I'm saying? We in definitely some beautiful times. Right? Because the end is being made manifest. All right, the end is displaying itself right in front of us. All right, and just like the Lord said, all that pride that has been sown here is getting ready to be no more. You know, all that pride. You know what I'm saying? All that pride is done for. You know, shit is about to go out the window. All that pride, all the proud, all that do wickedly shall be what? Stubble. That's what the scriptures say. I was thinking of a precept. But I'm gonna just go right here to the book of let me see where I'm at. 55. Alright. Yeah, so I'm gonna just go right here to Sirach, chapter 25. And Isaiah 25 and 21. It says, stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasures. All right, so that go for us. You know, you see a woman, she might look good, all right, but fill her out first. You know, see if she's qualified. You know what I'm saying? Rather than just looking at her for, you know, sexual pleasures. You know, see if she's an asset, if she could do something that's beneficial to your walk. All right, because a lot of these women ain't worth spit. You know, and that's just how it is. All right, so for us, brother, we gotta be mindful. All right, because when they start coming, they start throwing themselves at us. You know what I'm saying? And you know they gonna try to fit themselves into Isaiah 4:1. It ain't just gonna be any old woman that's gonna be Isaiah 4:1. You know. All right, and Ecclesiastes 25 and 26. It says, matter of fact, it started at 24. It says, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all died. And women only respect power. You know, they're hypergamous by nature. So when the power shifts, see, that's when they're gonna start respecting the Israelite man. All right, when they see who got the power, when they see who's stable, that's who they gonna get allegiance to. You know, see that Esau played Eve, and Eve gave her allegiance over to the one that got the power, which was Esau. You know, but now Esau don't need her ass, and now she gonna try to crawl her way ass back to Jake. You know what I'm saying? Hoping that she get forgiveness. All right, but just you gotta maintain that sternness about you. All right. It says, give the water no passage, neither a wicked liberty to gad abroad. All right. You got rules, regulations, stand on them. She don't want to follow them, fuck her, cast her to the side, push her ass to the curb. You know. All right. Make room for somebody else that will. All right, because somebody will do it. Whatever you don't want to do, somebody else will. All right, just like a woman will tell you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you don't want to do for me, another man will. Yada, yada, yada. Disrespectful. All right? I keep that same energy. All right? Because you're not the prize. And you're going to find out in the end, okay, that you're nothing more than a sexual object. And that's it. All right? So it says, if she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh and give her a bill of divorce and let her go. All right? So any woman that don't go as you would have her, cut her off. You know? If she ain't a pillar of a rest, she ain't something that you can lean on, you know? She ain't somebody that can help your situation out. She ain't trying to submit herself to you. You know, she ain't got to be perfect. But if she ain't trying to put in the work in order to keep you, cut her ass off. You don't need her. You know what I'm saying? Keep your peace. Protect your peace. All right? Let's go to the next chapter. Ecclesiasticus 26 and 25. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. All right? So, you know, that's the type of woman, all right, that the Lord is going to have mercy on, a shamefaced woman that's going to fear him. You know? Because if she could fear you, then she could start fearing Yahweh Shema Shai. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. Alright? That's how it works. So that's it, that's it. Hey, man, the water to you brothers for tuning in. Alright, this concludes it for the lesson. All praises to Yahweh Shema Shai. And give it double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I want to end by saying Brakatah Yahweh. Brakatah Yahweh Shai, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahweh Shai, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahweh Shai, call him Lo Yallah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha HaKwadash. Shema, Yasharala, Yahweh, Alahayanawa, Yahweh, Akkad. Hey, hear, O Israel, our power is one, all right? And they are with us, man. Yahweh Shema Shai is with us, brethren. All right, keep fighting, keep the faith, keep holding on. All right, we almost out this bitch, man. Y'all brothers stay strong, all right? Shalom, shalom to the household of faith, man. With that, shalom, brother, shalom. Y'all brothers stay up, man.